Good morning, Zio here. And before we get started, I just wanted to go over a few things. One, if you haven't already, you should subscribe to the channel. Two, if you haven't followed me on TikTok or Twitter, Twitter, you should probably go do that too. And or it doesn't matter, both, one, doesn't matter. Anyway, three, if you ever want to support the channel, you can do that now, utilizing Ko-Fi. Links are down below. So with all that, grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? Good morning, Zio here, and today I am joined by this lovable guy right here, D-Pad Chad, who has channels in lots of locations. Where are they again?
Odysee.
Go. Then Odysee, that's lots of locations. Anyway, we're talking about Blizzard today. So, yeah, with that, grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's jump into it, shall we? And there is no sip because yeah, this is like late night, day of news that we were recording right now. And I forgot to set the coffee maker to heat up my coffee from this morning. I feel bad.
How dare you? How dare you?
But in big news, major thing. This is probably the most energetic I have been in a long time. Microsoft is acquiring Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion. That's billion with a B, dollars. Biggest acquisition I think we have seen to date. And they are the ones, of course, who recently, or last year, it was last year, right? They acquired Bethesda for like $7 billion.
Yep.
Something like that. And Bethesda was a big deal to acquire. Activision Blizzard's a bigger deal. Nintendo is worth about $61 billion. They paid more than, or actually I think it's $51 billion. They paid more than what Nintendo is currently worth. And Nintendo is one of the top three, along with Microsoft and Sony. And they just paid more than that company is completely worth right now for Activision Blizzard.
So does that mean Microsoft can go up to like Nintendo and be like, I could buy you?
Yes! I had that thought earlier while I was driving down the road and was like, with that kind of money, Microsoft could actually broker a deal and purchase Nintendo. The insanity that would be. And of course, there's the whole... monopolizing this, that, and the other. We can get into that later. That's a concern. Don't worry. I know. But wow, this has been plaguing my mind all damn day. The second it broke earlier today, and Chad can tell you because I keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wall Street Journal apparently broke this, and it's wow. Now, I'm going to get into this real quick, but apparently there's a good chance that Bobby Kotick himself is out the door now. According to Microsoft, he's going to still be staying around. They did a press release or something about that, and I forgot to actually bring that up to quote it, but you could just believe me, I guess, where they said, he's going to be around. But the Wall Street Journal actually did say that apparently he's going to be around long enough for this merger thing to happen. And when it's over with, he's going to set sails on his 17 yachts and sail off into the sunset. My words, of course, for that, he's going to do it. But I can just assume that's how it's going to happen. He's going to just pop the sails on all his yachts and sail away with his golden parachute of like, I think somebody estimated what it was going to be, but we're looking at like 250 million for his bonuses and shit for this.
Wow.
Yeah. He's getting the royal treatment. As much as we rag about Bobby and Blizzard and Activision on this channel specifically, I've been up and down about how horrible he is as a person and all this other stuff. As much as I would like to see something bad happen to the fellow, as in him getting his comeuppance, karma to bite him, unless this yacht catches a hole somewhere, I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. He's got money, he's got power, he's got the two things you have to have in this world to get away with murder. He's got it already, and he's going to have more of it. So,
yeah, and honestly, even if he's caught up in court, it's going to take forever for them to prove anything. He's going to run out of financial backing for their lawyer first.
yeah, and on top of that, anything that he's currently embroiled in is going to be hit by the company instead, right? Like they've got the lawsuit. The lawsuit isn't towards Bobby, it's towards Activision Blizzard.
Yep.
Those lawsuits, because I've already heard people talking about it, saying that he's going to get his comeuppance and they're going to come after him and all this other stuff, or they hope he gets it, and it's just like, those lawsuits and stuff, none of them directly address Bobby. I mean, yes, there are some articles out there where they talk about this, that, and the other. And yes, Bobby is in a lawsuit and recently settled a lawsuit, but that's chump change compared to what he has and what he's probably making out of this deal. And it's not going to amount to much of anything other than a fine, a slap on the wrist, and then him walking out to go to greener pastures.
I'm still so kicking myself because while this all controversy was going on, I kept saying to myself, I need to buy Blizzard stock because everybody's like, and I was like, something's going to happen with Blizzard and their stock's going to shoot up, or it's going to, go back up just as a matter of course. And then this happens.
Yeah. Which, of course, is something I've been saying for a hot minute. Now would be the perfect time to buy Blizzard stock, because I knew it was going to eventually go up. I mean, as much as I harp on Blizzard and everything else like this, I have seen this thing happen before, right? It happens with every company so far that we've talked about. They'll go down, they'll have their burning in flame thing like Bethesda has been having, right? Or was having. Then Bethesda gets acquired by Microsoft, which is also another thing I thought about. Bethesda was burning and everything was bad, and then boom, Microsoft bought them. Activision Blizzard is currently embroiled in a thing. Things are going bad, and boom, Microsoft bought them. And it's not like this stuff happens at a snap of the finger, right? It's not like somebody woke up and said, you know what? I want to buy Activision Blizzard today. Now, these were, of course, been talks that have been going on for a while. And I guess we kind of got foreshadowing when Phil Spencer released his statement on the Activision Blizzard stuff. Because he was talking about, he was equating to what happened in their company, and it's just not going to fly there. And I, of course, was thinking, making the statements and stuff like, what does it matter? I mean, Activision Blizzard's not you, so, well, they were probably in the middle of already talking about purchasing, which is why they were reevaluating their position with Activision Blizzard. And here we all thought it was just because Diablo 3 is on their system, and Overwatch, and Hearthstone. Yeah, I think that was about it. But anyway.
So, tinfoil hat time. So, Bethesda has trouble embroiled in like issues. Microsoft comes in and saves the day.
Yeah.
Then Blizzard, Activision, same scenario, but I remember a big issue with the whole drama, and it was a big question mark on my mind when I was looking into it, was who originally told the state of California to investigate them.
Oh, well, that would be the employees.
Was it?
Yeah, this is all drama from employee reporting.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they reported it or if it was...
that investigation was going 2 years prior before it broke, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, unless Microsoft is just playing the super duper long game or something, which is also possible, but Microsoft has been making power play after power play after power play after freaking power play for the past 2 years. And this is just
a good opportunity.
This is the biggest of those power plays that they have done so far. They have been acquiring things and leaving Sony in the dust. Sorry about that, Sony ponies, but it's the truth. Sony may have 15 different exclusives to themselves. Maybe.
Sure, so
I mean, some of them are now coming to PC, but, you know.
They don't got Call of Duty, though.
Yeah. I mean, they may have 15 exclusives on their end, and Microsoft may, for the most part, not have any but Halo. But Microsoft is acquiring all the damn companies that also help make PlayStation great.
Yeah.
And that comes into the next question. Which of these titles are going to become exclusive? Because they said it before with Bethesda, that everything, well, the way they worded it made it sound like they would not do a Bethesda exclusive, right? Because what's already out there, it's going to maintain its presence wherever it happens to be, that sort of thing. That was the gist of that statement, right? So, you know, they're not going to suddenly yank Skyrim from the PlayStation Store and say, Sony, you can't sell Skyrim anymore. Skyrim's still going to exist on PlayStation, but Starfield is an Xbox exclusive. And that's Bethesda's next big title. That one is now slated to be an Xbox, Microsoft, Sony exclusive. So it will come to the PC and it will come to the console of Xbox. That's it.
6.
PlayStation gone. Cut out of that. So what of these is going to suddenly become an Xbox exclusive for its next big title? But first, we have to go over what they acquired, because they paid a ransom for this. So not only do they have things like all the Call of Duties under their belts, but they've got Blur, Blackthorn, Bubble Witch. Now, some of these things you're going to identify and go, what the heck? Activision acquired a company called King a while back. King happens to be the company in charge of Candy Crush and a bunch of other mobile titles. So yes, Microsoft now has the mobile giant King under their belt as well, which I think is probably the crux of why they wanted to acquire it, because Activision makes a huge chunk of money solely from King. It's not Blizzard, it's not the studios handling Call of Duty, it's King who is king of Activision. But anyway,
I'm banking 2 years before they make that money back just on King.
Probably. King Upward makes a ton of money. But anyway, you got Bubble Witch Saga, which is the King title. You've got Call of Duty, Candy Crush, which of course is King, Crash Bandicoot. If there's a new Crash game, this is a fine candidate for Xbox exclusivity. Or Microsoft. Yep. I guess we should call it Microsoft exclusivity, because now they have been, focusing on their PC side of things as well, especially with Game Pass. So I guess I should start referring it to Microsoft exclusivity at that point. But Diablo, and guess what, folks? Diablo 4 is not out yet. In fact, it's not even been slated to what it's coming out to, other than we assume PC, because Diablo's always a PC game. But Diablo 3 came out on the consoles. It came out on PC first, then ported to all the consoles. There's no reason for them not to port Diablo 4 to the console and leave PlayStation out. So that's a candidate. DJ Hero. I've not seen DJ Hero in forever, but if they want to bring it back, console exclusive. Empire Earth, Farm Hero Saga, that's another King title. Gabriel Knights, Geometry Wars, that one's currently multi-platform. If it launched another game, we could see an exclusive. Guitar Hero, multi-platform. Hadn't seen Guitar Hero in a while. People still play Guitar Hero regularly, so that could do it. Gun, Hearthstone, of course, is currently multi-platform. It's on tablets, phones, you name it. It's probably going to stay that way. Heretic, Hexen, which I didn't realize anybody actually owned in that family of things, because Hexen was a good game. I enjoyed that on the Doom engine. So if they want to do a remake, an update like the recent Doom, Hexen would be a prime candidate for that, and Xbox exclusivity or Microsoft exclusivity.
Could you imagine a Hexen Doom crossover?
That would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool.
Because I think the universes could mesh well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Interstate 76, King's Quest, Overwatch, and Overwatch 2 has been pushed back. So Xbox only, maybe?
Also, a new King's Quest would do great right now, because I know a lot of people in the gaming sphere have been chomping at the bit for a new point-and-click adventure franchise.
Well, I highly doubt it's going to be a click-and-point adventure in these days, but they would probably bastardize the name, if you ask me. But that's just my thought. Pitfall, Police Quest, Rock and Roll Racing, which you were playing at some point on a channel somewhere.
That is my jam. I would love for them to do a 3D version of that. Oh, man. That fills me with hope, because let me tell you, Activision did fuck all with so many of these great titles. They just Activision Blizzard, all they did was jerk off Night Elves.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too. Microsoft is going to get all these titles. Now, we're not going to see anything instantaneously. This deal is going to take anywhere from like 12 to 18 months, so about a year and a half or so, before it's actually finalized and done. And then Microsoft is going to get to go through that list and essentially decide what they want to revitalize, if anything. And I do have a feeling they are going to maybe possibly revitalize some things. But that's just my thought, and I hope they do. And they do it well, and not under Bobby Kotick's vision. But Skylanders, Space Quest, Spyro is now going to be a candidate for exclusivity. StarCraft, SWAT, The Lost Vikings, Tony Hawk, Warcraft, which does include World of Warcraft, by the way, and Zork. Now, Warcraft. I've mentioned this before, but I will mention this again because it was a blip on the radar, right? Data mining happened for Shadowlands, and we were talking about Shadowlands. And, it's been a good year since Shadowlands has been out now. But when they were data mining the expansion and found stuff, they found controller inputs for things. Like Blizzard had taken the time to actually start to think about offering controller support for Warcraft, for World of Warcraft, which of course had people speculating, does this mean WoW is coming to the consoles? And I have a feeling, because they were already doing that, because they've seen Final Fantasy XIV and what they were doing, which was my thought process, was Final Fantasy XIV is on the PlayStation and the PC, not the Xbox, but it has controller support for the PlayStation and on the PC if you want to play with controller support. WoW was, of course, thinking of giving themselves controller support, and then possibly, when they get it down, maybe make a jump for a console version, because World of Warcraft can function on the consoles with its graphics engine. It's been updated slightly, in this recent expansion to the part that it made everybody's graphic card say it was out of date when it wasn't. And that was an issue. But the graphics to World of Warcraft is lacking, to say the least. It's a art style at this point, but it can easily work on any of the new gen consoles and the old gen consoles right now. So there's a high likelihood that you can find that coming to the Xbox, and then you would have WoW on Xbox and Final Fantasy on PlayStation as exclusives, which would be an interesting war to see happen. But yeah, there's that. But on top of that, of course, Phil also mentioned that he was going to be bringing as much. They were going to see how much of this they can actually bring to Game Pass. And if you haven't gotten Game Pass and you own a PC and or Xbox, you probably should. It's worth the money. But yeah, I mean, I can see a lot of these things currently coming to Game Pass that already have consoles released, like Crash Bandicoot. If you hadn't gotten the new titles yet, there's a good chance it's going to be on Game Pass. Diablo 3 could find its way on Game Pass. Call of Duty could find its way onto Game Pass. Let's see, what else? The Spyro Reimagined, or the Spyro one where they re-released it recently, or I guess 2 years ago now. Reignited, yeah, you could see that on Game Pass possibly. So Tony Hawk, I mean, they did a port of Tony Hawk recently, did they not? And everybody liked the redone of Tony Hawk?
No.
Yeah, I thought people loved that. But
the remake of the first one?
Yeah. I heard nothing but high praises of the remake.
Wasn't that the really buggy one though? Like it was like
no, that was the last one they actually did. I thought. Like the actual
that's right.
When it comes to the Tony Hawk series, this is all I've really heard lately because I played the crap out of 1 and 2, and then I haven't played it. But the higher the number of the series went, the worse the games got, apparently.
Yeah.
But then everybody loved the remake when they gave it the Spyro treatment, essentially, from what I heard.
That's right.
But
Tony Hawk Underground 1 and 2 were really good, though. It was like a return to form for them. I just had a thought, though, what they might be doing with all these, actually. Do you know why a lot of people like, or I should say liked, Nintendo's online? The retro games. What is
I don't
Xbox?
think anybody likes Nintendo's online.
Well, that's why I said as in a past tense.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you could play all these Nintendo retro games on there for like $1 a month, like $2 a month.
No, it's. Oh, actually, I think if you will look down, let me look. I think it's up to 89 now or something like that, or 59. I guess it's a 59. So about $5 a month.
That's that might be if you're getting the extra.
Yeah, it's built in now. I think you have no choice. See.
Okay, well, again, that's why I said past tense liked.
Yeah. But, I mean, it used to be like $20 for it or something, which wasn't half bad.
Yeah, no, I loved it. So, the what I'm getting at is maybe that's what Microsoft's going for, is they're going to put a lot of titles that they acquire that are older games into a retro category in Game Pass. So you're going to have the old King's Quest, the old Rock and Roll Racing, old Tony Hawk, old Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, or maybe even the newer stuff too, in a more of a retro category.
Maybe. That would be cool too. So, I mean, I love Game Pass as it is. So, as much as I don't really take a side to the console war, because both of them have their, pluses and minuses, I keep leaning further and further to Xbox nowadays because Xbox has it freaking all. Sorry, PlayStation Plus has nothing on what Xbox is currently offering. Whoop-de-doo, you get a couple of free games every month. Game Pass, literally like 100 plus games all the time.
Yeah, and I honestly can't even think of what Microsoft is. I don't know what Sony has now, because I guess what God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, and the Spider-Man games, because those went to Sony and not they used to be, I think,
Horizon
Activision.
Zero Dawn went to PC.
Well,
I mean,
no, I want to say who owns it. So they still have access to publish it. Now with Spider-Man, that used to be Activision, but then Sony got the rights to it. So
yeah.
But the thing is, I don't care about any of those three, like, at all. I'm sure there's a lot that do. I ain't one of them.
Yeah, that always is usually my reaction when anyone brings it up. And they're like, well, the Sony has exclusives. I mean, they've got God of War and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I don't care about any of those games. I really don't. I mean, I own them. I own several of the God of War titles because I can't remember how I acquired them, but I got them. I just don't care for them, to be totally honest.
What's funny is somebody was like, "Oh, they got God of War." I mean, like, and then I said, "Oh, you mean the remake of Ninja Gaiden?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Dude, it's Ninja Gaiden set in Greek mythology."
Yeah, I mean, when you boil it down to it, God of War is just Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden, and just Greek mythology. The style of gameplay isn't new.
No.
And the story is kind of generic, to be totally honest. If you sit there and boil down God of War's actual story, it's nothing new. It's not something we haven't already seen or heard before in the past. It's just, it happens to be the updated version because it's for the newest console. And I haven't seen a Devil May Cry in a hot second. So, and the last one I don't think really did so well, so I don't know.
Well, they also got Assassin's Creed, which nobody cares about these days.
I mean, that game used to be fun. The first three were great. And then...
you know what? It died on the second one for me. Huh?
And then Greed happened.
Well,
I mean, it was dying on the third one, but it finished that little thing, so...
For me, I actually was that one guy that really liked the story outside of the Animus. Like, I'm probably the only human on Earth that actually liked the story.
No, I enjoyed the story. That was the whole point of me playing it.
No. Not in the story in the Animus, the story outside the Animus.
What was happening to Dude outside the Animus? I was highly intrigued by all that.
Okay, cool. I found somebody else. Then.
In other words, you're not alone.
So when they went to the whole like Greek gods and aliens, and I was like,
yeah, that went way. Once it started going out into the middle of nowhere, I was just like, I've lost. No.
Yeah, that's when I was like, and franchise dead.
But anyway, I guess that's about all we got. You got anything else to add?
Honestly, the one thing that got me nervous, and it still will always be nervous, more nervous now than ever, though. Microsoft wants, was it like they wanted cross-platform banning, right?
Oh yeah, we talked about that already this week.
So this kind of feels like a step in that direction. Because now they own more.
Yes, it does.
So All they got to do is say, "Hey, Nintendo, you gonna play ball or are we gonna buy you?"
Well, I think that one might be a little harder to do because if you're going to purchase Sony or Nintendo, that one might actually raise enough red flags to make governments step in at that point.
Oh yeah, because they're really good at
Because,
that.
I mean, they're already talking about monopolization of the gaming space as it is because of everything that Microsoft has recently bought in the past few years. They took ZeniMax Studios. That had like 5 different studios underneath it. Bethesda and a bunch of smaller ones. They just took Activision Blizzard for working on taking Activision Blizzard. That's another several studios. So Activision Blizzard has several studios under them as well. And King, which was the biggest mobile guy out there, and Blizzard Entertainment, essentially.
I don't remember the last time I saw a government care about games.
No,
Except
but
for
they did break up Microsoft once before, so.
Well, I guess in the 80s they wanted to ban games or something like that.
Well,
You know?
yeah, but they did bust Microsoft up a little bit once with Microsoft Office because Apple complained too hard.
Yeah,
Not that it's really mattered, but
yeah, that's how we got Open Office, which is woo.
But anyway, I guess that's where we're going to end it there. You're, of course, on my channel, but this guy here is findable on Odysee. He's also on the Twitters for some reason. Don't ask me why. He just found himself on Twitter and was like, the fuck is this and why am I here? And he's also on Gettr. Gettr? Got her?
Get her done.
Get her done. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm on Gettr.
He's on Gettr. And he might live stream on YouTube at some point.
I'm working on that. I got to build the computer. I actually ordered the motherboard, and next week I want to see about possibly getting the CPU. So once the new computer's built.
All right, then. That's what we got. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and we will talk to you later. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.